Okay, let's dive into this. Think about this. Someone who's 92 years old, still driving, still completely with it, and hasn't really been sick in over 30 years.
That's pretty remarkable.
It really is. And they put it down not to, lucky genes or anything like that, but to 5 simple, everyday habits. Some they only started around age 62.
Right. So the question becomes, what if those habits are the actual key? Not just to living longer, but living well, really vibrantly, especially into those later years.
Exactly.
And that's what we're digging into. We've got this fascinating source material, the insights from this person. Our plan is to unpack these 5 habits. They seem almost too simple at first glance. We want to understand the science, like why they work, particularly for aging bodies. And then pull out the key things you, listening right now, could maybe apply. Straight from the source. This is your deep dive.
Yeah, and there's this core idea from the source that I found really powerful. It's that aging isn't this inevitable thing that just happens to you.
Right.
It unfolds in these quiet moments, these small choices we make every day. But the key is you can sort of take back control, choice by choice.
It's about the repetition, isn't it?
Yeah.
The source emphasizes it's not about how hard you go, but just showing up for it consistently.
Exactly. That steady commitment.
Those small things really compound. Yeah. So, okay, let's jump in. Habit number 1. It actually starts before they even get out of bed.
Before getting up. Okay, that's unusual. What is it? And why is it apparently so critical, especially, as you get older?
Well, it's described as a short, very gentle movement ritual. Done right there, lying in bed. The source mentions a doctor told the author that the body tends to age most rapidly in those first 30 minutes after waking.
Really? 30 minutes?
Yeah. Think about it. Your blood's a bit thicker, joints are stiff, the nervous system is still kind of booting up, and most people just jump out of bed, rush around. That adds stress. This habit does the exact opposite.
Okay, so what does it look like? This gentle movement ritual.
Super simple. Still lying on their back. 3 slow, really intentional breaths. Then just gently stretching the fingers, wiggling the toes.
Okay.
Followed by some easy rotations of the wrists and ankles. That's basically it. Takes like 90 seconds total.
90 seconds. That feels almost nothing. But they call it a signal in the source.
Precisely. It's like sending a little message to your body. Okay, time to wake up now, but gently. It helps get the circulation going, brings a bit more oxygen to the brain, and just centers your awareness in your body before you ask it to do anything strenuous.
And that helps with things like balance.
Yeah, it can help prevent falls, which are a bigger concern as we age. It sort of soothes that morning grogginess, sets a calmer tone.
Is there actual science that backs this up, that those first few minutes matter so much, especially for older folks?
Oh, absolutely. The source cites research from the National Institute on Aging. They looked specifically at older adults and found that those who did these kinds of morning mobility exercises reported having more energy, better focus during the day, and significantly better balance. Yeah. And Mayo Clinic research also suggests that this kind of consistent, low-intensity morning movement can help decrease inflammation markers, improve joint health, and even support better blood pressure regulation in older adults.
So that 90 seconds isn't just like a nice little stretch. It's actively working against some common age-related issues. The author had a personal story about this, didn't they?
They did, yeah. It was a real turning point for them around age 60. They'd wake up feeling super stiff, foggy-headed, and one morning actually tripped over their slippers because their feet felt numb, like they hadn't woken up yet.
Oh, wow.
That made them realize their body was kind of hitting the snooze button unless they gave it this deliberate, gentle wake-up call.
And now they never miss it. The body reminds them. The main message seems to be it's the habit, the sheer consistency that changes things over time, not how hard you push.
Exactly. No fancy gear needed. You don't even have to get out of bed. Just 90 seconds and the intention behind it.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? The source asks, when was the last time you really, truly said good morning to your body with that kind of care?
It's a small window, that first waking moment, but maybe a really important one for how aging unfolds and how you can gently nudge it back.
Powerful. Okay, so you've done the 90-second movement. What's next? What's the very next thing this 92-year-old does?
They head straight for the kitchen to make what they call the golden glass tonic, which is basically warm water with lemon, turmeric, and a little pinch of black pepper.
Okay, simple stuff again. Kitchen staples. But they call it a powerhouse. Why is that the very first thing they consume?
It's seen as another one of these intentional signals. Like you're waking up your immune system right away, helping to reduce inflammation, getting digestion ready for the day. It's telling your body, okay, We're not just surviving today, we're setting up to thrive.
Let's break down those ingredients. Why are they considered so potent, especially, again, for older adults?
Okay, first, the lemon. That gives you vitamin C, a powerful antioxidant. The source mentions the Lennis Calling Institute, noting vitamin C supports white blood cell production, which strengthens the immune response. It might even help shorten illnesses, which is obviously great as immune function can sometimes decline with age.
Right.
Plus, lemon helps the liver's detox process by encouraging bile production, and it can help with low stomach acid.
Oh, that's interesting. Low stomach acid is common with age, right? It affects digestion.
Exactly. So the lemon helps there. Then you've got turmeric. Its active compound is curcumin. The source mentions hundreds of studies showing it's one of nature's strongest anti-inflammatories.
And inflammation is a huge factor in aging and chronic disease.
A huge factor.
Yeah.
It tends to increase as we age, linked to everything from joint pain to memory decline. There are studies like one mentioned from Frontiers in Pharmacology showing curcumin supplementation actually improved immune function and lowered oxidative stress in older adults.
Okay, crucial stuff. But
Yeah.
the source is really emphatic about adding the black pepper. You need it.
Yes, that's the key. Black pepper has piperine. This compound dramatically boosts how much curcumin your body can actually absorb by up to 2,000%, apparently.
2,000%? Wow.
Yeah. Without the piperine, a lot of that beneficial curcumin just doesn't get utilized effectively. So the pepper is the activator, makes the turmeric work.
So warm water, not boiling, half a lemon, maybe a quarter teaspoon of turmeric, tiny pinch of black pepper, takes, 2 minutes?
Max.
And the author's own experience after starting this daily habit.
It sounds pretty profound. They said they physically felt the difference quickly. Before starting, they used to get sinus infections every winter. Joints were achy. Digestion felt sluggish. Within just 2 weeks of the tonic, they felt lighter, less bloating. Joints felt looser. Then after a few months, it hit them.
Yeah.
They hadn't been sick in almost a year. And that was 30 years ago.
30 years.
They-
Partly attributed to this simple morning drink. That's incredible. They still get exposed to things, obviously.
Of course. But they feel their body is just better fortified now. It doesn't seem to welcome viruses in the same way.
And it's not some fancy, expensive supplement. Just basic ingredients. Again, the emphasis is on the signal it sends. Ready to thrive.
Exactly.
Okay. So, gentle movement in bed, check. Golden Glass tonic, check. What's habit number 3, the non-negotiable third thing?
It's the healing walk.
Yeah.
A daily 15-minute walk, rain or shine. And this is key. No distractions. No phone, no headphones.
Just walking. Most people probably think of walking as, baseline activity, maybe something you do if you can't manage a run or something more intense. But this person sees it very different.
Totally differently. For them at 92, it's the absolute foundation of their daily health.
Yeah.
They mentioned reading a study, he didn't say which one specifically, but the results stuck, showing that simple, consistent walking could lower systemic inflammation, help regulate blood sugar, boost memory,
Wow.
and even reduce the overall risk of death by something like 39%. That study made them shift focus from jogging to embracing this daily rhythm of walking.
So it's doing more than just moving you forward physically.
Way more.
Yeah.
The source describes it as moving everything else back into place. Your joints, your lymphatic system, that's your body's internal drainage network, it calms the nervous system. Even helps shift stuck thoughts or worries.
And like the other habits, consistency is everything.
Absolutely non-negotiable. Every single day. Even if it's just a quick walk around the block on a really busy or difficult day, never skip.
They shared an experience of skipping it once, right?
Yeah, they skipped it one morning because they were just too busy. And they said they felt old that day for the first time in years. Stiff, disconnected, like their lungs had forgotten how to fully expand.
That's powerful.
It made them realize the walk wasn't just exercise. It was like essential medicine for them.
And again, there's science for this in older adults.
There is. The British Journal of Sports Medicine published work showing just 20 minutes of walking significantly lowered levels of C-reactive protein. That's a key inflammation marker in older adults.
Interesting.
And a Stanford study found walking boosts creative thinking and mental clarity more than sitting activities do.
Okay, so beyond just walking, are there specific ways they do it? Details the source shares.
Yeah, a few things. Supportive shoes are important. Start slow. Find a comfortable pace. Focus on your breath. They suggest maybe breathing in for 4 seconds, out for 6. Gently swinging the arms helps with posture too.
And that fascinating bit, they make a point to smile while walking.
Yes, which sounds maybe a bit silly, but there's physiology behind it. Smiling, especially when you're moving, apparently activates the vagus nerve.
The vagus nerve, right, that connects the brain to lots of organs, helps regulate inflammation, heart rate, digestion.
Exactly. And a study in psychosomatic medicine found that smiling during physical activity actually amplifies the stress-reducing effects of the movement itself.
So it's like a double win. Physical movement plus a positive mental signal reinforcing capability. It's like every step says, I can still do this.
Motion is life, as they say. If you're feeling stuck or tired, the advice is don't wait for motivation to strike. Just start moving.
Okay, moving from movement now to fuel. Habit number 4 is all about nutrition, isn't it? Specifically breakfast.
Yes. Prioritizing protein, especially first thing in the morning. They call it a nutrient they haven't skipped for over 3 decades. And there's a crucial reason why this becomes even more important as we age, according to the source.
Which is?
Well, the key insight shared is that after about age 60, our bodies tend to become less efficient at absorbing and actually using the protein we eat.
Ah, okay. So you might think you need less if you're less active, but actually...
You actually need more to maintain muscle mass, support your memory, keep your immune system robust, and heal effectively from, anything.
That really goes against common assumptions, and the author experienced this personally.
They did. Around 60, they thought their diet was pretty good. Lots of fruits, veggies, whole grains, took a multivitamin. But they noticed they were losing strength, energy would dip mid-morning, and they started getting a bit forgetful. A doctor basically told them, you're simply not getting enough protein.
And that led to what they call their brain and body breakfast.
Yeah, it's straightforward but effective. 1 boiled egg, a cup of Greek yogurt, a handful of walnuts, and just a few blueberries.
Okay.
The source calculates that this combo delivers over 25 grams of really high-quality protein. Plus, you get those good anti-inflammatory fats from the walnuts and brain-boosting antioxidants from the blueberries. It's designed to fuel, not just fill.
And you mentioned protein isn't just for muscles, right?
Correct. Your body needs those protein building blocks, amino acids, for so much more. Building immune cells, making enzymes that repair tissues everywhere, producing neurotransmitters essential for keeping your brain sharp and your mood stable.
And the research backs this up specifically for older populations.
Very much so. The American Journal of Clinical Nutrition has cited a study showing older adults getting around 25-30 grams of protein per meal had significantly better muscle mass, fewer hospital visits, and actually lived longer.
Wow.
And Tufts University research found seniors with higher protein intake mounted stronger immune responses, both to illnesses and vaccines.
They specifically mentioned focusing on complete proteins.
Right, things like eggs and Greek yogurt that contain all 9 of the essential amino acids your body can't make itself. The walnuts and blueberries are like boosters, adding healthy fats and antioxidants.
And a side benefit, the author noticed.
Yeah, an unexpected one was much more stable blood sugar. No more 11 a.m. energy crash. They just felt steady and mentally clear through the morning.
They do suggest alternatives too, right? Like cottage cheese or even lentils.
Yeah, cottage cheese with flax seeds, maybe some grilled chicken on sprouted toast, or a lentil scramble. The point is the principle. Never skip protein, especially at breakfast.
It's like setting the stage for the day's performance.
Exactly. As they put it, you wouldn't run a car on fumes. For them, that protein-rich breakfast is a lifeline. Your body responds to how you fuel it today, regardless of your age.
Okay, so we've got morning movement in bed, the golden glass tonic, the healing walk, the protein breakfast lifeline. What's the 5th and final piece of this daily puzzle?
The 5th habit is called mental tuning. And it's incredibly simple. Just sitting still for about 3 minutes each morning to consciously tune the mind. The author really believes that the mind often gets sick before the body does.
And this isn't like heavy-duty meditation.
No, not presented that way at all. The practice is just to sit quietly, maybe close your eyes, and picture the feeling you want to carry through the day. Maybe it's calm, maybe strong, steady, useful, whatever resonates.
Okay.
Then you briefly visualize yourself actually moving through your day embodying that state. It's not about emptying the mind, more about intentionally directing it.
The source links this to neuroscience. People like Dr. Joe Dispenza, Harvard studies. What's the idea there?
The principle highlighted is that our brains are always clearly distinguished between a vividly imagined scenario and something actually happening.
Right.
So when you consistently and intensely visualize feeling calm or strong, you're essentially activating and strengthening the neural pathways associated with those states. You're kind of rewiring your nervous system over time.
And this connects directly to stress, which the source calls out as a major health issue.
A huge one. Chronic stress is described as potentially the #1 killer of the immune system, more impactful than germs or genetics for many. It floods us with cortisol, which can damage brain cells, weaken immunity, even contribute to muscle loss.
And stress can show up differently in seniors.
Yes, sometimes it's confusion or deep fatigue or just getting sick more often. So this mental tuning is positioned as a direct way to counteract that chronic stress response.
There's a powerful story about a friend.
Yes, a friend the same age, similar health background, but constantly stressed, news, politics, money worries, just lived in that fight or flight mode, and tragically collapsed suddenly from a heart issue, no real warning.
Gosh.
The friend had apparently asked the author why they always seem so calm, so unruffled, and the author's reply was something like, "Worry is a thief, and every morning I lock the door against it." It starts with setting that intention for resilience.
And the body follows the mind's lead if the mind is calmer.
That's the idea. When the nervous system settles down, physiology changes. Blood pressure might lower, immune cells can function better, memory potentially sharpens, digestion improves, things regulate.
Is there research on this mental rehearsal idea?
Yeah, the source mentions a University of Wisconsin-Madison study from 2016. It found that just 5 minutes of daily mental rehearsal like this significantly cut anxiety, improved focus, and even boosted immune markers in adults over 65. And the effects lasted for weeks.
So your thoughts are actually shaping your physical health, your hormones, and it doesn't take hours, just those few minutes. Sit, picture strength, picture calm, picture yourself moving through the day that way.
And over time, the source suggests that visualization starts to become your actual felt reality.
Amazing. Okay, so let's just quickly recap those 5 habits from this incredibly healthy 92-year-old.
Right. We have the morning movement signal, the golden glass tonic, the healing walk, the protein-rich breakfast lifeline, and finally, mental tuning, simple daily choices.
And the big takeaway isn't about hitting the genetic lottery or finding some magic pill. It's the incredible power of these 5 consistent daily actions added up over time. The author truly feels these habits rewired their body, maybe even saved their life.
Yeah, individually they might look small, almost insignificant, but practiced consistently, their combined effect is profound. The source makes a great point. Health doesn't usually just disappear overnight. It often slips away in the things we stop doing, the small things we skip.
Right.
And it seems it can return the same way, through these quiet, consistent choices that rebuild strength, thought by thought, step by step, bite by bite.
So if you're listening to this, maybe feeling like it's too late to make changes, the message here is pretty clear and hopeful.
Yeah.
You're still here. You absolutely can still make choices. And just by exploring these ideas with us, you're already on that path.
Absolutely. And then the author leaves us with this little cliffhanger, a final provocative thought. They mentioned there's actually one more secret, something they do every single night. Yeah, something done while sleeping that they believe is crucial for deep body repair.
Yeah.
And they hint that science is now starting to suggest it might just be a missing key to potentially reversing aspects of aging itself.
Wow. Okay. Definitely something to think about. A fascinating potential 6th element to consider as you reflect on the power of those 5 daily habits we just explored.